Hello, everyone, and welcome back to DG360. I know it's been a while. Don't worry, it's been hectic here. Christmas, New Year's, my birthday's coming up. It's been chaos. Next week, content's going to be spilling avalanche on the channel. Let's check it out. We have a record-breaking year in 2019, recording 47.7 million in overall backer money. It's us. This number represents us as funders, as us backing the game. Biggest amount ever since the inception of the project last year, bringing in 37.7 million. So that is a nearly $10 million increase in funding from the backers, the people who actually want to play the game. That is huge. That's absolutely huge. 2019 just took it down. They were like 2019 people in 2019 coming to the project, new people coming to the project, people who have been involved in the project. They stepped up their funding and they were like, we believe. Like this essentially in 2019 shows like the belief of the project and new money coming in from funding. Just this is only the people who are backing the project only. This is that money, 10 million additional dollars. That is huge. That is a huge beat. But I want to balance it a little bit. So we're going to go over 2018 financials since Cloud Imperium did release it. We did on the channel go over the actual filings in the UK showing the 800,000 pound loss that they had. So as a business, you know, it's great you're bringing in all these revenues, but we got to talk about those costs. And that's one thing we do here on the channel is we keep it real. We keep it real up in the field. We want to make sure that they're a company that's bringing in some type of profit, and they haven't been for a long time, and that is concerning. That's why that Calder money came in, that $46 million came in. So let's go over here and let's just analyze the numbers really quickly, see what's going on with the total amount of money brought in versus their costs, because costs have always been a big thing with me. I've always been focused on the amount of costs, and as a business grows, costs increase. We get this, but even the smallest companies in the world understand that you have to mitigate this. You have to keep your costs down and your revenues up, and that's called the profit. And that's really important in being a legitimate company that can continue to be a company. You have to have some type of profit to be shown. So we got total pledges and income. We see in 2018, wow, we see 48 million. So we see the 37.7 million that I talked about earlier here. We see that in there with the pledges counter. We can see subscriptions have grown 3.2 million, which is impressive, but I think they could do better. Jared doing these kind of Inside Star Citizen, like, you know, little reveals before, you know, this is what the Inside Star Citizens come by. These types of things that are engaging the community will help increase the subscription amount. This is a vital time for them to really look at that subscription revenue and see on how they can increase their subscription revenue. I think 2019 is going to show a huge increase in subscriptions. 2018, they just started to realize, hey, we should really focus on subscription amount of money. Some people in the community were telling me, hey, you know, I think you're incorrect about your analysis on subscription money not being a huge portion of it. Well, we can see here it's not. We can really see here that subscription amount, the amount of money in subscriptions when it comes to the total figure isn't even 10%. It should be. It should be around 10%. Then we went other income. We see incentives, partnerships, and other growing to nearly 8 million. So that's good. That's like the incentives. These partnerships we're talking about, like business partnerships where people are coming in and they're bringing money into to Cloud Imperium through business deals and you know, like the Intel, AMD, these types of companies that come in, they're interested in the project. They want to get their name involved along with Cloud Imperium and Star Citizen. So we see an increase in that, which is hugely positive. That's very positive to see that. But now we're talking about our costs. And this is really what I want to get to, because we can see that costs have risen year after year. And at some point, costs need to balance out or level out. Even though the company needs to grow, sometimes you got to look at the company and say, hey, do we continue to need new places? Do we continue to need new people, or do we have to manage the interior of it better? Do we have to manage the departments better? And these are the things that I'm talking about. We can see it just increase 29.9 million to 33.8 million nearly in 2018. And that's just on the salaries. And I get the salaries. The salaries is going to be your largest column. Your largest increase on costs are going to be your salaries. That makes sense. So then we got your other game development and your overheads at 7.6, raising another million from prior year. And it starts to get concerning for me. I start to see these because you go down here and you start to realize like, hey, your total amount of cost is at $56.1 million, $56.1 million. I haven't seen anything yet about the counter money coming in. So I hopefully they account for it or they talk about it here in these charts. We're going to go over that. We'll see if they do that. But you can see 56.1 million in costs, guys, versus 48 million. Or 49 million, let's call it. That's like 7 million. That's $7 million loss for 2018. So although they've increased by what from 2017 2018 nearly 12% or so. So they've nearly increased 12%, which is great from last year in the terms of the money they brought in and their revenues at 49 million essentially. But then you look down here at their costs and you can see that the costs are at 56.1. So that's hugely concerning, and really why I think that money came in here and why Chris was like a little chagrined. He didn't know if he wanted to bring in outside money. He wanted to make this like all about backer money and didn't want to bring any outside investors in. And that was huge at the end of 2019 or 2018 when the counter money came in 2018 of December, and he decided to go ahead with it. He knew it was going to be huge, but he knew he needed that money. They also talked about how that money was only going to be used for marketing. And really, for people that are saying, oh, that's only going to be used for marketing, that's a bunch of hogwash. That money was essential for them to support them. That money's being used for other things other than marketing. For people that are thinking that it's going to be used just for marketing solo, it's very naive. It's very ignorant to think that there's people out there that believe that 46 million is going to be used for marketing only. It's not. It's just not. So we got summaries. They're probably talking, hey, everything's okay. Don't worry, blah, 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 blah. But I'm a little bit worried to see the costs up. I want to see those down here. You can see it in graph form. You can see actually where the costs are in the graph form. You can see salaries being the biggest portion of the amount of costs. Then you can see 7.6 million in other development costs. Now, the only thing that went down, and this is good, is the CapEx. Now, CapEx is the money that's being spent for like equipment, these types of things. And we saw a small reduction, like $200,000 reduction in CapEx. So the only real reduction in the amount of cost that we're seeing here is in the CapEx. We want to see like other areas like publishing and marketing at 9 million. I mean, that seems really high. Where's that money going? $9 million on publishing and marketing is absolutely ridiculous. Maybe they're including that with CitizenCon events, those types of things where they're having like events for everybody. But that could be taken down a bit. That needs to be focused on. I mean, hell, the amount of people, how you're managing the departments in terms of salary, that can be looked at as well. Like, do we need over 500 people to do the job that needs to get done? Do we need that many people? These are questions that need to be asked. Headcount analysis. This is really interesting. This is the amount of people actually working. So we see 521 here people total at the end of 2018. We knew that they were over 500. I'm curious to see where they're at in 2019. We'll have those numbers shortly. And we're looking here and we see the development is the biggest area. We got 310 people in UK and Germany. We've got 98 people in the development area. The other areas like publishing ops and general and admin areas, they are reduced, which is nice. You don't need that many people in those areas, so we're seeing the smallest portion of employees go to those columns. That's good. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see those overly inflated, or you start to worry when you're analyzing a company. So that's good. Overall headcount analysis, you can see the totals right there. They're lumping them together. Cumulative net position. Here we go. We're starting to see that. There we go. Okay, minority investment. This is the first time they needed to add this, because they brought in outside money. And honestly, it's not a minority investment. It should be labeled majority investment. You can see 46 million over at the farthest right there, 2018, that counter cash coming in, 46 million. You can see the losses here. It looks like in the first 3 years, we do have some profit being shown. Interestingly enough, it's probably because they didn't have like a lot of employees working for them at the time. And you can see that they actually have reported years where they have brought in profit. But ever since 2015, we got 4 years of losses. 2016 wasn't huge in terms of losses. 2015, 2017, 2018 starting to get a little bit concerning at 7 million. That's the thing. It's not huge, but overall, when you continue to report losses, it really damages the overall reputation of the company. It really damages what a company can do if they continue to record losses in the financial world. So we want to see in 2019, what we really want to see is a huge profit. And I'm curious to see how they're going to bring in this $46 million and how they're going to use it. Now, according to what they said they're going to use it for marketing, it's probably how they're going to account for it as that money's being used, as that money's being spent. So 2019's financials will be really interesting to pour over to see what they're doing. You can see the huge cumulative net position with that cash at 52 million. That gives them the flexibility. So on the positive side of things, that money came in and that gives them huge flexibility to do what they believe that needs to get done. The important question here is it? Is the money being appropriated correctly? And that's really what 2019 is going to show us. So 2019 is going to be a huge year. It says the injection of capital through minority investment majority in 2018 has afforded the business the opportunity to bolster its marketing and general and admin areas, which is really... I think that's an area where they're going to just be able to hide what they did with the cash. I mean, really, when you're talking about marketing, okay, we saw $9 million being spent in 2018, okay, for marketing. Now, really, let's talk about this. The marketing of it, really, the only thing I've seen in terms of marketing for Star Citizen, Squadron 42, has been the Citizen Cons and their YouTube page and us, the content creators. Like, really, the way that this message is getting sent through the grapevine is through the content creators and through Star Citizen's way of getting it out there. You can't tell me in 2018 that $9 million being spent was that money being used towards making Inside Star Citizen and Star Citizen Live and Pillar Talk. I mean, come on. These are employees of Cloud Imperium that are getting paid money. Okay, there's some articles being published, okay, for Squadron 42. Perhaps some of that money is going to those in gaming magazines. Perhaps some money is being used to push out there to get the word out on Squadron 42 or put news articles out there on some of the established gaming sites out there. There are legitimate avenues for this money being spent that's recorded in 2018, this $9 million. But it seems interesting to me that 46 million is going to be lumped into 2019's publishing and marketing. I really want to see how they account for that. So let's continue. Without such investment, the business would not have spent as much on those areas in 2018 as it did. As it is constantly mindful of balancing its development and publishing spend to its current and projected income. Yeah, we're getting interesting verbiage here. But without that money, it would have been hard for them to continue forward and continue the growth that they had in 2019. So that money did help them huge in getting the revenues that were shown in 2019 that we started this out with. So all in all, what I want to see coming up here is a decrease in costs somehow, or a leveling off in the costs. This is what you want to see as an analyst here. You want to see the cost bar go down or level out or go down. This is what you want to see. And you want to see a huge spike in revenue in this graph here, which we will. We already know in 2019 that just the pledges are going to equal the bar furthest over there in 2018. Not including subscription pledges or subscription money coming in or other income coming in. It should be interesting. It should be interesting to see just how that's going to affect 2019's overall projected income versus revenues versus costs. So I'm really curious. I want to see a profit. For me, being invested into this project as I am, putting money into this game, being somebody who follows this game, passionate about this game, I want to start seeing a profit, even if it's a small profit or a very small loss, one or the other. I'll even be happy with a small loss. Like at this point, I just want to start seeing a profit. It's important to me. It is important to see a profit in 2019. because it'll give me a faith. It'll be like, wow, okay, great. Not only did they bring in record revenues in 2019, but they actually made a profit as a business, as a company. And if they can do that, if they show that in 2019, I'm going to breathe much easier, because I'm at this point, I'm skeptically optimistic, and that's because obviously I'm playing the game. I'm seeing the improvements in the game. Everything's going great for me. My experience in Star Citizen has been 10 times up on the up and up since about 2018 when OCS on client side happened, and I saw the increase in the frame rates, and my experiences started to change, and I started to have better positive experiences. my view of the game has changed more towards the positive, but now I want this to line up. Now I want to see a profit. I want to see a profit. I'll breathe easier, and I'll be like, okay, we're healthy. We're financially healthy. And that's what I want to see. So 2019 is going to be a really interesting year. I'm going to follow the numbers like I always do. We want those costs to balance or go down. We want the revenues to spike up. We know the revenues are. So this is really interesting. The revenues we know are going to be through the roof in 2019. If they cannot make a profit with revenues being the best that they've ever been, I might start getting a little negative. Hate to say it, but now I might steer back towards the negative. People have seen me go negative, positive, negative, positive. Like they're based on real facts, people. My overall view and perception of the game is not just the game itself, but the real life happenings of Cloud Imperium. And that's because I'm passionate about the project, passionate about the game. And I know you guys are, and that's why you've watched this entire video. And I thank you. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time out just to chill with me, going over the numbers. I know the content has been a little bit slowed. I've explained why on the Discord, on Twitter, on Facebook. It's been very hectic here. But going into next week, content will be an avalanche. I can't wait, guys. Look at the new merch. Look at this. Hashtag profession now. Go check out the merch. We got a link down below in the description. Nice DG logo on the arm. Loving the merch. Everything's looking nice and fresh. You guys are buying it. I'm loving it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Consider becoming a patron. Hey, 2 giveaways every single month. We're giving away a Gladius, and we're giving away a Mustang Alpha. So 2 this month. We're calling a winner, I think, on January 19th, I believe. So get involved, become a patron, pledge $1, have a chance to win some really nice prizes on our Patreon page. Thanks, everybody. Consider clicking join, becoming a YouTube member. You also get involved in the giveaways. And thank you, guys. Thank you. 2020, we are going to own it up. I feel it. 2020 is going to be a record-breaking year for DG360, for the community. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video stream. Don't worry, next week, tons of content. Thanks for being patient. See you guys.